The seventh day of creation was the first Sabbath. That's what they say. God blessed that day and made it holy. Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Adam and Eve and all the host of the universe kept the Sabbath and every continuing seventh day. After Adam and Eve sinned, they continued to keep the seventh-day Sabbath. As centuries passed, people kept the Sabbath as they desired. Some ignored it. However, others remained faithful and continued to keep the true seventh-day Sabbath. When Jesus was born into this world, the Hebrew people were still keeping the Sabbath. Jesus, knowing all things, also kept the Hebrew Sabbath. And thus by his actions, Jesus positively confirmed the correct day of the week for Sabbath. Luke chapter 4, verses 14 through 16. And Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region and round about. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up for to read. The modern mind tends to doubt that humanity kept accurate track of the seventh day from the distant time of creation. Nevertheless, from the Bible's record, we unerringly know which day Jesus kept. Through all the intervening centuries since the week of creation, God has preserved knowledge of the Sabbath. But we do not need to rely on that assertion. We know for sure which weekday is God's Sabbath, because Jesus authenticated the Hebrew Sabbath. We also know which day is the Sabbath because Jesus lay at rest in the tomb on that day. Jesus was crucified on Friday. Jesus rested in the tomb on Saturday. Jesus resurrected himself on Sunday. At last Jesus was at rest. The long day of shame and torture was ended. As the last rays of the setting sun ushered in the Sabbath, the Son of God lay in the quietude in Joseph's tomb. His work completed, his hands folded in peace, he rested through the sacred hours of the Sabbath day. In the beginning, the Father and the Son had rested upon the Sabbath day. When the heavens and the earth were finished and all the host of them, the Creator and all heavenly beings rejoiced in contemplation of the glorious scene. The morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Now Jesus rested from the work of redemption, and though there was grief among those who loved him on earth, yet there was joy in heaven. Glorious to the eyes of heavenly beings was the promise of the future, a restored creation, a redeemed race, that having conquered sin could never fall. This, the result to flow from Christ's completed work, God and angels saw. With this scene, the day upon which Jesus rested is forever linked. For his work is perfect, and whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. When there shall be a restitution of all things, which God hath spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets, since the world began, the creation Sabbath, the day on which Jesus lay in rest in Joseph's tomb, will still be a day of rest and rejoicing. Heaven and earth will unite in praise, as from one Sabbath to another, the nations of the saved shall bow in joyful worship to God and the Lamb. Praise Jesus.